Medyo girly pa. How much yan? Bagay sa paa mo kasi maliit.
Tucked in the heart of District 1 is the iconic Central Post Office, one of Ho Chi Minh's most photographed landmarks. Built in the late 1800s and designed by Gustave Eiffel himself, this colonial beauty is more than just a functioning post office, it's also a living piece of history. Step inside and you're greeted by a grand vaulted ceiling, antique phone booths, and a giant portrait of Ho Chi Minh watching over the bustling hall. But it's not just the architecture that draws people in. This is also a souvenir haven. You'll find hand-pasted postcards, vintage stamps, lacquerware, notebooks, and quinky trinkets perfect for keepsake or last-minute gifts. After walking the entire morning, we couldn't let our day one pass without talking about pho, the dish that feels like a warm hug in a bowl. Every morning you'll see locals perched on tiny stools quietly savoring their bowls before starting the day. The broth is the heart of it, slow cooked for hours with beef bones, star anise, ginger and spices that fill the air as soon as you walk past the stall. Then comes the flat rice noodles, thin slices of beef or chicken, and my favorite, the fresh herbs on the side so you can just spill it the way you like it. What's beautiful is how every region does it a little differently in Vietnam. In the north, it's clean and simple. In the south, it's a bit bolder, sweeter, it has more toppings, but no matter where you try it, pho is always going to be comfort food, deeply personal, deeply Vietnamese. And when you sit down to enjoy it, it's not just about eating, it's about slowing down, it's about savoring the dish, it's about being present, and I think that's what makes it special. After lunch, we went to Saigon's ultimate shopping playground, Bentan Market. Bentan Market is a magnet for first-time visitors. Located right in the heart of District 1, this bustling market has been around since the French colonial era, and it's still the go-to spot for souvenirs, street eats, and everything in between. Once you step inside, you'll find rows of colorful ao dai, hand-embroidered bags, lacquerware, coffee beans, and even knockoff designer goods if you're up for a bargain. And if you're buying from here, don't forget to haggle, it's gonna be part of the fun. Please also indulge yourself in the local food stalls, whether it's sizzling bancheo, grilled seafood, fresh fruit smoothies, and of course piping hot bowls of pho. They have everything for you. Our next destination was tucked between the Notre Dame Cathedral and the Central Post Office, and it's a little gem for book lovers just like me, and this is Book Street. It is quiet here, shaded by trees and lined with indie bookshops, cafes, and reading corners that invite you to slow down. You'll find everything from Vietnamese literature and international bestsellers to rare art books, comics, and even poetry collections. Some shops even have cozy upstairs spaces where you can sip a coffee while flipping through pages. For some reason, while we were there, it wasn't just about buying books, there was a sense of community in there. Writers host talks, kids join weekend reading clubs, and visitors wander in just to soak the calm. In a city that moves super fast, Book Street is a rare pause where the noise fades and all you hear is a quiet turn of a page. Our last stop for the day, and probably my most favorite part of day one, was a street food on scooter tour that we booked via Klook. This was a good way to explore the city and enjoy the street food as well because you're going to be led by your English-speaking guide via motorcycles, and it was a very thrilling adventure. Our first stop was a stall frequented by locals, but this time, the bowl of dish that was presented to us was not pho, Instead, this was a dish called bun bo hue. Bun bo hue is like pho's close cousin. It comes from the central city of Hue and it's known for its bold but spicy broth. Unlike pho, the soup has a deep orange color from the chili oil and it gets its flavor from beef bones, lemongrass, and fermented shrimp paste. It's rich, it's a little spicy, or it can be very spicy, depends on how you want it, and it's full of character. Inside the bowl, you'll find thick round noodles, slices of beef, sometimes pork hock, sometimes even have congealed blood if you're feeling adventurous. I have been wanting to try this dish, but I just really haven't had the right type of ingredients to make it at home. Tasting it for the first time in Vietnam was such a revelation, and I know now that I like this more than pho. I mean, they're both great, they're both very tasty, but bun bo hue just takes the cake for me. Riding on to our next destination felt like going through the streets and alleys of Manila. They're narrow, they're very chaotic, but has a lot of character and just made me feel like home. The next food we explored was Vietnamese pizza or grilled rice paper pizza, locally known as Bentan Market. It's a street food favorite, especially in cities like Dalat and Ho Chi Minh. They start with a sheet of rice paper, grill it over charcoal, and then top it with all kinds of goodies. You have shrimp, you have quail eggs, green onions, pork floss, you have spam, sometimes even cheese or sausage or mayonnaise. It's crispy, it's savory, and I didn't realize that it was going to be totally addictive for me. One of the more memorable stops on our street food tour wasn't even on a street. It was inside an old apartment block tucked away behind the chaos of scooters and neon signs. We followed our guide through a narrow alley, we climbed dim staircases and ended up in what looked like someone's home, but inside it was a tiny, bustling kitchen serving up some of the best food that we had for the night. These buildings have been around for decades, some dating back to the French colonial period, others built during post-war years. They used to be low-income housing, but over time, families turned the ground floors into food stalls, cafes, and little shops. There's something special about eating in these spaces. It's not polished or fancy, but it's real. You feel the history in the walls and the warmth in the food. It's where generations have lived, cooked, and created something uniquely Saigon. Aside from pho, another thing you can't miss if you're visiting Vietnam would be banh mi. It's more than just a sandwich, it's a perfect mix of Vietnamese and French influence, all wrapped in a crusty baguette. Inside, you'll find pate, pickled carrots, daikon, fresh herbs, cucumber, chili, and your choice of filling. Anything from grilled pork to fried egg, cold cuts. Every vendor has their own version, and honestly, you can't really go wrong. It's the perfect sandwich. On our way to the next street food stop, we made a quick detour into Ho Thi Khai Flower Market, and I'm so glad we did. This market has been around since the 1980s, and it's the biggest wholesale flower market in the city, just like Thanh Market is in the Philippines. Just a few steps away from the flower market, there was a low-key street food haven. We found a tiny corner where locals were crowding around plastic tables and eating their street food. This is also where our guides had us try grilled pork wrapped in betel leaves. It was smoky, it was savory, it was full of flavor. We washed it down to the super refreshing cup of sugarcane juice and then ended the night with a massive banana crisp. I forgot what it was called, but it was crunchy. It was like caramelized pancake folded over thin sliced bananas. We ended the night with grilled coconut plantain, and honestly, there's so much more to taste, explore, and uncover. I would highly recommend this tour, so stick around. Day 2 is where it gets really interesting. Thank you for watching!